Hello, everyone. It's Michelle from IELTS Advantage with another success story. And today we are going to hear from Hardeep and his recent experience with the IELTS test. So hi, Hardeep. Can you start by introducing yourself to everybody? Tell us where you're from and what you do for a living.
Yes. Hi, Michelle. My name is Hardeep Singh Chabra, and I live in India. And I write software for a living. I am a software developer, basically backend developer, to be specific. And yes, that's what I do.
And you recently passed your IELTS test, didn't you?
Yes. Yes, I passed my IELTS test and got more than what I needed. Yeah. So.
Can you tell us what scores you got?
Yes, I got so module wise, I got overall I got an 8 band, yeah, and specifically I got 8.5 in listening, 8.5 and 8.5 in listening and reading, and 7.5 in writing and 8 in speaking. So yeah, these are the scores.
Excellent. And why did you need to take the IELTS test?
Because I wanted to apply for Canadian immigration. So for that, Canadian PR, express entry to be specific. And so for that, we have to have those IELTS taken. Even if you belong to a native country, where English is the main language, even if you are a native speaker, you need to take those the test, IELTS test. So yeah, for that purpose, I needed to take the test.
And you got the scores you need, which is excellent. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Hardeep, was it the first time you had taken the IELTS test, or had you tried it before in the past?
Yes, so certainly it was not the first time, obviously, because I got stuck at in writing at 6.5. So this was not my first attempt. This was my 8th attempt, and hopefully this was my last attempt. And before this, I had given 7 attempts, and then I kept getting stuck at writing. Which was at 6.5, obviously the famous 6.5. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I kept getting stuck at 6.5 and I didn't improve. I couldn't improve until I knew what was my weaknesses, and I just focused on my weaknesses. That's it. I just focused on, and because I used to keep I used to read everything, learn everything, but then I just realized that I just need to focus on my weaknesses, and that's it. That's what I did, and then I I got the score.
So the first couple times that you failed your IELTS test with the 6.5 in writing, at that time, did you have any idea why you were getting 6.5?
Yes, means I had no idea. Obviously, the first few times that I gave, I had no idea. But then 5th time and 6th time, then I then I realized. Then I started realizing that I am making some grammatical mistakes and some vocabulary mistakes. Not vocabulary mistakes, because my word formation and having wide range of vocabulary, all those things I have in my arsenal, all those things. But just that structure, having a particular structure, you need to have a particular structure that I was missing hugely. That was the main contributor factor for me, getting a low score and grammar. So by the 6th time, I started realizing that this was it. But even then, on my 6th attempt, on my 7th attempt, even then I got I kept failing. So yes.
So if you could go back in time and give yourself some advice after your 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th attempt, what advice would you give yourself?
The only piece of advice that I would give myself is, first of all, just sit down, just take a deep breath, and just focus on your just find out your weaknesses first, because that's what you taught me, right? That's what you guys taught me. I actually forgot about this. I completely forgot about this, that how I came about finding you guys. And because actually I found you guys through reference. Somebody referred you guys to me, and this IELTS Advantage, and they said that this is the course that you should. So first of all, find someone who can give you. I'm not talking about just exclusively you guys, anyone it could be, but just one person whom you can trust on. Give your writings to them. If you are failing in writing, obviously, if you are failing in speaking, then you can give speaking to them. Listening and reading, you can do it to yourself. You can self-assess. So there's no requirement of game. So just find your weaknesses first, and then just focus on those weaknesses, just address those weaknesses, and you will be on your way to a good score. This will be my only piece of advice, seriously, after giving so many attempts.
And when you submitted your essays to the correction service, what were the key mistakes that the teachers told you that you had to fix?
The key mistakes, my key mistakes were, first of all, grammatical issues, not that much, particularly articles. So there were three kinds of grammatical mistakes that I was making. First, articles. Second, prepositions, on, in, at, and third, punctuations, specifically commas, not else, not any other punctuation, because those are not used very often anyway. So commas. So these three things were pointed out as my mistakes by IELTS Advantage, by you guys. So grammar was this. And as far as the logical structure and task response is concerned, obviously I was not up to the mark. You guys just gave me an honest approach that you are not good at this, you need to be good at this, you need to be doing these things. And at first I felt bad, honestly. I felt bad at first, that means I will have to improve, I'm so bad at this. But then I just introspected, I just took a deep breath, and then I looked over the whole thing, and then I was able to
it doesn't always feel very nice to have somebody point out all of the things that you're doing wrong, because you're trying your best, right? You're trying your best, but here at IELTS Advantage, we always focus on mistakes, not because we like telling you, but because we care, right? And it's like, look, if you keep making these mistakes, you'll keep failing. We don't want that. So it's very simple. Stop making the mistakes. And these are yours, and you just have to stop. Now, it's simple, but it's not easy. So like articles, lots of students struggle with articles. How did you stop making mistakes with articles?
Articles, actually, obviously, that I did myself, that I, and you guys also helped me. But you guys told me that focus on the key mistakes, focus on the main mistakes, not everything you need to focus on, not every little mistake you need to focus on. I was making specifically where I have to apply I was applying so where I have to apply a definite article, I was applying indefinite article. So specifically on those things, I need to improve myself. So those you guys taught me how to do that, and it was pretty simple after that. Let me tell you very honestly, after I found my weaknesses, it was very simple to fix it. It becomes very simple, I think, for many people. After you just found your weakness, it's very simple to just redress that weakness, book your test, and just get the score. That's it.
I like what you said about just being laser focused on the main mistakes, not every single mistake. I mean, you got a 7.5 in writing, which means that you actually got an 8 in 2 categories, like task response, coherence and cohesion, vocab, grammar, which is amazing. But you didn't have to fix every single little mistake. You just fixed the main ones.
Yes. So that is absolutely correct. I didn't have to make it, because if I hadn't make, I think it would have taken longer, or I would have got the same score anyway. So it wouldn't have mattered. That's what I think.
It must be quite frustrating for a lot of students who keep failing. And it's just like things like articles, punctuation, prepositions, these small things that don't really get in the way of communication in your daily life.
Absolutely.
But they're going to hold you. But if you keep making these mistakes, you're not going to get to move to Canada. Right?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. So have you started your application yet for Canada?
I have started my application. I have applied for it. And and I'm in the process right now. So, but the main thing that was impeding, which was preventing me from even applying, in the first place, was obviously IELTS. And I have only you guys to thank, because honestly, at first I felt very bad. And but then gradually, obviously, I found out that, you just need to focus on having one mentor, not, because if you have several different mentors, you are overwhelmed with misinformation, because one teacher will say one thing, second teacher will say second. So just stick to one. I stuck to you guys. and I got the score. Even if it hadn't been you guys, it would have been someone else. But I would have stuck to the one, the same thing. And that's the biggest, I'm telling you, that's the biggest piece of advice anyone gets. That stick to one thing, stick to one person, stick to one thing, and follow that thing or that person.
Yeah. There's lots of different ways to write a good IELTS essay. The way we teach it is, it has been successful for thousands of students, but it's very confusing when you try to follow two different approaches and two different strategies. It's confusing, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And even if they both are the best, even if they both are at the top, if you follow those two teachers simultaneously, you will still fail, because the strategies will be different. There are more than thousands of ways to get a 7.5 in writing, more than thousands of ways to get to write a very good letter or task 2. So it doesn't mean that you will follow thousands of them. You just have to follow one of them. Just get a mastery in that, like they say, the jack of, whatever it is, the jack of none or master of one, whatever it is. So yeah, you have to, abide by that phrase or idiom, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I think what a lot of students like about the way Chris teaches how to write like task 2 essays, for example, is that in the course he tells you exactly what information you need to include in every single sentence so that you can score a 7 or higher in task response. And then it's just like, okay, I need this information in this sentence, and then that information in that sentence. So we try to make it as simple as possible.
Yes, actually, that's the best thing. I need to write this in this sentence. I need to write this in this sentence. It becomes very simple, because we are not writing a simple letter, like we are not expressing our emotions. We are just, focusing on, okay, this sentence, this sentence. So Chris makes it very, you guys, IELTS Advantage, the main thing, the very good thing, you guys make it very simple, absolutely simple. Because before I joined, I got to know about you, things were very complex with me. So after I got to know you, things became very simple. So, okay, this sentence, I need to write this. This sentence, I need to, and you won't believe me. In 35 minutes, I was complete with my IELTS writing, and speaking. It was just a breeze. It just went effortlessly fine. And yeah, that's it. Because before I had my speaking test with you, mock test with you guys, I was stuck at 7 in speaking. Before I had a mock testing, the writing test with you guys, I was stuck at 6.5. After I met you guys, boom, my speaking was at 8, my writing is at 7.5, and so yeah. So you guys made it very simple.
You're very good at speaking in English, but what did was it Julia that you had a mock speaking test with? What did Julia tell you that you had to improve in order to increase your speaking score?
Actually, she said, this will be very surprising. Actually, she said that you are good at speaking. There's no problem in that, but just slow down, just calm down. You just repeat. You sometimes have this, ability to, not ability, you will say that the tendency to repeat yourself every now and then. So just calm down, just have confidence in you, have faith in you that you have whatever you said is good. And then you won't have to repeat yourself. So that's where my key mistake was. Now I don't know where this marks, where this tendency gets cut, in which criteria. I don't, because there are 4 criteria as far as I know. In which criterion this gets cut, I don't know. But yeah, I certainly know that if you repeat yourself, you won't be getting a high score. If you repeat, or if you self-correct, you won't be getting high scores.
Yeah, so one of the things that you need to do to get an 8 for fluency and coherence is develop your answers logically. And if you're just talking around and around in circles, then it becomes confusing for the listener.
Yes, absolutely. It becomes confusing for you as well. Because you lost track, actually, because you lose track. You lose track of things that you just spoke. So, just keep on speaking, just have faith in yourself that whatever you're saying is good.
One of the things that makes it easier for students as well is just understanding exactly what the examiner expects. So like, what exactly do you have to do to get a 7 or an 8 for fluency and coherence? It's just like understanding exactly what that is and, what strategies you can apply to be able to do that.
Yes, I absolutely agree.
Yeah. Well, Anything you'd like to add, Hardeep? Any like last advice you'd like to give anybody who's maybe struggling or feeling stuck with their IELTS preparation?
Yes. I think a lot of, especially those like me, would be stuck at this. Because I realized that I myself was stuck at this. So yeah, in writing, my main area of weakness was in writing. So yeah, as far as writing is concerned, I would say that just focus on your weakness and just work on that weakness. That's it. Like I had a weakness of not structuring it properly. So as soon as I did that, instantly I got a boost in my confidence as well, in my scores as well. The writing, the mock tests that I was submitting to you, the writings that I was submitting to you, and the feedback I got, and what else? Yeah, the task response. That is the main thing. So the task response. How am I responding to the task? So that's what I just said. The sentence wise, perfectly knowing what you have to write sentence wise. So these were my weaknesses. So similarly, everyone has their own weaknesses. Obviously, not everyone is the same. So everyone would be having their own weaknesses. Just find out first what your weaknesses are, and then just focus on those weaknesses, and you will get, you'll be you'll be getting one band more than what you what you are getting. So at least one band. Seriously, it will get you a boost of one band. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, in writing.
Yeah. Quite often there's just a couple things that students need to fix. But thinking about the whole IELTS test is very daunting. But thinking about articles, it's like, okay, I can do articles. That's it, right? That's all I got to do. I can do that. Yeah, you can do that. Anybody can do that.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly the kind of thinking we should have.
Yes.
Right.
Well, Hardeep, thank you so much for sharing your success story with everybody today. I wish you the best of luck with your application to Canada.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Really, thank you. And I'm really grateful to your services, the way you guys helped me, in speaking and writing, especially in speaking and writing.
Our pleasure. On behalf of all of the teachers and Chris, it's our pleasure.
Hey, Chris here again. Hopefully you enjoyed that success story video. That student was part of our IELTS VIP course. And on that course, we show students exactly where they're going wrong and exactly what to do to get the score that they need. And we give them all the help and support that they need in order to get a 7, 8, or even 9 in their IELTS test. Now, we only work with a really small number of students. Because of the level of help and feedback and support that we give students, we can only work with a very small number of them. But we also have more success stories than any other online or offline course in the world, which has created a huge amount of demand for our course. So we're the only course in the world, I believe, that has a very long waiting list. If you want to join that waiting list, all you have to do is just click here and you'll be able to add your name, add your email address, and then when one of our students becomes successful and leaves the course, the next position can be for you. Hopefully see you in there. Bye-bye.